Yes, yes. 54321. Good evening, new listeners and current listeners from all around the world, including Canada, the USA, areas of Long Island, plus the location sections of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your host with the most, G Money Stacks, aka Lonely Nomad, aka the Gregonator, aka Rookie Podcaster of Queens, New York. And you are now rocking with Off the Meatrack Chainz New York podcast, episode 39. How about that? 39 episodes. Yeah, let's do this one more time. Now, if you are new to the channel and a new listener and you missed previous episodes, don't worry, I got you. All you got to do is your part by subscribing to the YouTube channel, which is G Money Stacks 555. Be sure to tap alerts so you could be notified of when the show goes in the air live, upcoming episodes, more video content, previous episodes. Also, leave a like and a comment on the episodes, including the topics that's discussed. And also, be sure to share the show podcast with audio streaming platforms with your friends, which I will go over at the end of the show. Now, if you would like to be a guest, whether you have a chain letter that you need advice on that needs to be read on the air, whether you have topic ideas, you want to be a guest co-host to chime in on the topics, whether you are a singer, rapper, DJ, VJ, video producer, video director, radio personality, podcast host who has a show like myself, along with any other career fields whatsoever, all you got to do is go to this email right here, off the Meatrack Chainz NY podcast at gmail.com. That's off the Meatrack Chainz NY podcast at gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to make a donation, I will explain that at the end of the show, so don't worry about that. Now, our first topic, before we even get to chatting all the jazz, I'd like to do a segment first. The first segment for today is New York Mass Transit Files. It's basically a segment where we get to talk about what's going on behind the scenes of what's going on in New York. Now, for those of you that's not from New York, don't worry. I'm just giving you a perspective of what's going on in New York as far as what's going on with the subways and trains and stuff. So but in this case, there has been a stabbing by the 7th Avenue train station. One question I have to ask, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, according to the New York Post article that I'm about to read to you, it goes something like this. Okay, 2 men stabbed each other during a squabble in a midtown subway station early morning, cops said. The 2 men, ages 22 and 29, were fighting on the northbound D train platform at 7th Avenue and West 53rd Street around 1:30 a.m. in the morning, when the older man stabbed his rival in the chest and face, police said. The younger man then grabbed the knife and stabbed the older one in the torso, cops said. Both are in stable condition at Bellevue Hospital and in police custody, police said. Neither man was immediately charged. The incident comes amid rampant violence on the rails, including a man struck with a hammer on a Brooklyn train early Sunday. Jeez Louise. It's like every week is always something terrible happening. Jeez, hold up. Okay, I had to do it, man. I had to do it. Speaking of seriousness, now we could go to our next segment, which is called Chatting on the Jazz. Now, in case nobody don't know what this segment is, it's basically about the topics that we talk about each week that catches our interest. And this one has to do with a serious matter here. So let's get to it. So there's an issue with the Olympics in Tokyo, who are basically banning athletes to not wear Black Lives Matter t-shirts. And this is what I gotta say. This is crazy. I'll explain why in the article, so just bear with me. All right. So in the Yahoo Sports article, it goes like this. The International Olympic Committee has ruled that athletes will not be permitted to wear Black Lives Matter apparel during the Tokyo Olympics. Per WBTV3, the IOC revealed 2 weeks ago it would consider punishing any athletes involved in protests or demonstrations during the ceremonies or on the podium, specifically forbidding it. This week, the IOC said any items of clothing featuring slogans like Black Lives Matter will not be allowed. Despite the move, apparel featuring the words peace, respect, solidarity, to be exact, inclusion, and equality are permitted. In citing reasons for the decision, the IOC says 70% of 3,500 athletes surveyed last year agreed it wasn't appropriate to demonstrate or express their views while participating in the Olympics or attending the opening and closing ceremonies. There's no such restriction on apparel worn during any press conferences, interviews, or team meetings, however. End quote. A very clear majority of athletes said that they think it's not appropriate to demonstrate or express their views on the field of play, at the official ceremonies, or at the podium, said Kirsty Coventry, the International Olympic Committee's commission chief. So our recommendation is to preserve the podium, field of play, and official ceremonies from any kind of protest or demonstrations or acts perceived as such. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who has represented the families of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, criticized the decision in a tweet. The Olympics will now ban any athlete who wears a BLM shirt, kneels during the national anthem, or raises a fist to oppose racism, said Crump on Wednesday. This sends the wrong message about basic human rights, and I urge the Olympic Committee to reserve this decision. All right. The Tokyo Olympics are currently scheduled to begin July 23rd, although Japan is currently experiencing a surge in the new COVID-19 cases. The Japan Times reports the state of emergency could extend until the end of May, and there's been increasing pressure from medical staff regarding calls for volunteer nurses and doctors to take part in the Olympics amid the pandemic, as the Guardian reported. All right. I'm not really surprised by all this. Um, how do I react to this? Okay. It's gotta be more to the story than this. Hold on, folks. Okay. So I have another article, which is GOPUSA.com. So the postponed 2020 Summer Olympics are just 80 days away from taking place, blah, blah, blah. In Tokyo against the backdrop of the coronavirus pandemic. It will be an Olympics unlike any other with no international fans. Athletes will have to pass a battery of nasal COVID-19 tests and are just one positive result away from ruining years of hard work. Millions of eyes will be on the games all over the world. It's a tremendous stage, both for athletic triumph and possibly social change. Who can forget this image of Americans Tommy Smith and John Carlos with fists raised during the 1968 games to protest racism? GOP USA editors note, please keep in mind that this is a mainstream media story. The source of the story is in the deadline. We publish it for the purpose of informing our readers and providing an opportunity to discuss it. What is GOP USA? Read about ourselves, blah, blah, blah. But the Olympics continue to ban athlete protests and could punish athletes who choose to protest anyway. That means raising a fist or kneeling during the national anthem, as many professional U.S. athletes have done over the past year, risk punishment. Those athletes could even be sent home. IOC bans Black Lives Matter gear. The International Olympic Committee got very granular, to be exact, with what is not allowed. It says specifically that the slogan Black Lives Matter will be banned from athlete apparel at the Summer Olympics. It's part of the IOC's longstanding ban on demonstration or political, religious, or racial propaganda on the playing field. The medal stand or during the game's official ceremonies. More generic words like peace, respect, solidarity, inclusion, and equality will be allowed on t-shirts. So far, the IOC has not said what types of punishment athletes could face for violating these rules. It only said it would treat each violation on a case-by-case basis. The IOC says majority of athletes support ban on protest. The IOC Athletes Commission cited support to uphold Rule 50 of the Olympics Charter from more than 2/3 of about 3,500 replies from consulting athlete groups. The IOC says 70% of athletes polled do not think it's appropriate to demonstrate during competition, and 67% said it's not appropriate either on the medal stand. Athletes breaching Rule 50 can be sanctioned by three bodies: the IOC, their sports governing body, and the National Olympic Committee. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee pledged in December not to sanction athletes for peacefully protesting at the Olympic trials. Many governing bodies for different Olympic sports also have said they would not punish athletes for protesting, including World Athletics, the global governing body for track and field. Okay, nonprofits step up to support athletes push to reform Rule 50. Um, Many groups have promised legal support for athletes who protest. The World Players Association Union said the IOC's decision was a move it expected. And quote, any athlete sanctioned at the Tokyo Olympics will have the full backing of the world players, said Brandon Schwab, the union's executive director. In the group, Global Athlete also issued a statement encouraging athletes to not allow outdated sports rules to subside your basic human rights. Noah Hoffman is heavily involved with the Global Athletes. He's a two-time Olympian, have competed in cross-country skiing in both Sochi in 2014 and Pyeongchang in 2018. Though he thoroughly enjoyed both of his Olympic experiences, he told Next Star Andrew Martin that he strongly believes that it is time to evaluate the voice of the international athlete. Quote, we envision in the Olympics where the athletes are the center of the show, more than the host country or the politics around it or sponsors, Hoffman said. It is this huge spectacle where the athletes are an afterthought. Now, before I even go to the next topic, question for you that's watching on the YouTube and the listeners out there. Do you think that the International Olympics in Tokyo should ban athletes for wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt? Or do you think or do you think it's or do you think otherwise? Be sure to comment in the comment section on my YouTube channel, and along with the question I'm gonna actually ask on the Instagram podcast page handle. So with that further ado, I'm gonna go to the next one. Now, the most issue that everybody's talking about is price gouging, which is the name of the episode. And for those of you who may not know what price gouging is, we will go over it. So, marketing91.com is the website. Price gouging can be defined as a practice of increasing the prices of goods or services so high that it is considered exploitative and unethical. Price gouging is common practice during natural calamities or in emergencies. Now we go to the meaning and explanation behind it. Price gouging is an economic term which referred to a situation when sellers or retailers increase the price of goods or services or commodities to such an extent, to be exact, that it is considered unfair, exploitive, and unethical by the common people. It is common to observe price gouging after natural disasters like flood, hurricanes, or earthquakes, etc. hit, or simply we can say when there is a shock to supply and demand chain. In such situations, organizations increase the prices in order to take advantage of the time of emergency. For example, when water in an area becomes unsuitable for drinking due to flood in the area at the time, a shopkeeper who has a large supply of drinkable water will make a huge profit by selling water bottles at increased prices. Price gouging is usually observed in the prices of food items, water bottles, oil and gas supply, and medications, etc., as these are the basic things that one would require in the times of emergency. In addition to price, gouging can be seen in services like roof repairing, plumber work, heating repair, etc., as these services are essential for people to live a normal life. Price gouging can also be referred to as profiteering. However, price gouging takes place in certain situations and lasts for a short period and usually in the local area. Legally, there is a restriction on selling basic commodities such as food, water, medication, etc., at increased prices, as these things are essential for people. And here are the price gouging laws. Okay. Price gouging during an emergency is considered an offense. There are different laws in different states of America to deal with price gouging laws. Against price gouging have constitutional status and can be enforced by police power during emergencies. As of now, there are a total of 34 states of America where there are laws against price gouging. There are a total of 3 price gouging criteria on which price gouging can be defined. Number 1, price ceiling. The price of goods and services are capped by law, which means the maximum price of goods and services can't be more than the maximum price decided by law. Number 2, period of emergency. There are a few states which have laws to control the highest price of goods and services to be sold during emergencies. That means people can't sell goods at overpriced rates, considering the needs of the people. Number 3, necessary items. In some states, the maximum upper limit, the price of goods, is limited to items necessary for living, such as food, water, housing, etc. Laws which control the prices of basic goods during emergencies become effective as soon as the emergency arises and the government declares an emergency. To make a law effective, there are different requirements mentioned in the law. The fulfillment of those requirements makes the law effective. There are a total of 13 states named West Virginia, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, Indiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, New York, Florida, Arkansas, Louisiana, where there are laws to deal with price gouging when there is a state of an emergency is declared in the state. Different states have different methods to control the price increase during emergency circumstances. For example, in the state of Florida, it's prohibited to charge a price that grossly exceeds the average price of that item in the 30 days leading up to the emergency, whereas in California, there is a maximum of 10% cap, which means the price of the goods, can be to be increased up to 10% of the price of the item. Most of the states have an upper limit of 25% increase in the price of the goods. Other states have laws to control the maximum price of the goods or to control the price of goods in special circumstances where are high chances of increase in prices. However, laws also have exceptions mentioned where the increase in the prices are justifiable because of the cost of transportation, the demand of goods, cost of supply, and cost of storage, etc. Because of this, it becomes difficult to endorse the laws. In addition to this, there is no proper oversight mechanism to keep a check over the implementation of the law. Examples of price gouging. When it was confirmed that a deadly hurricane was heading towards the state of Florida, which is now known as Hurricane Katrina, which I was there, by the way. I was there, by the way. Hold on a minute here. I gotta pop up here. All right, where was I? Oh yes, the emergency was announced, and as the emergency was announced, people started running towards the stores to buy basic survival things like food, torches, water bottle, etc. In the situation, the owner of the store increased the price of food item 100%. The instant noodles container, which was sold at $5, was sold at $10, and the water bottle, which was cost of which was of cost $2, was sold at $4. Man, that's crazy, man. Hold on a second. And I'm gonna do another one right about here. Yeah. People usually take advantage of emergency circumstances to make extra profits. There are several other examples of natural calamities where the cases of price gouging occurred. Pros of price gouging, which reminds me of the gas station by my crib. I forget the name of it, but whenever I pass a gas station on Merrick Boulevard, whenever I look at the price of gas, like for a full tank, it's like $3.45. Half a tank is $3.25. For regular is like $3. Yeah, that's really crazy to me right there. And speaking of crazy, here's some more of this price gouging story. Number one, more profit generation for the retailers. In emergency circumstances, demand arises exponentially, and retailers want to take advantage of such a situation by selling the goods at increased rates. They can even charge 100% more than the price of the goods and still will not see a decline in demand. For example, people need necessities like drinking water, which is important, which may not be available easily in these situations. And retailers ensure to full advantage of this situation by charging excessively higher than the retail price, excuse me, for the butcher. Since the situation is grave, people unwillingly pay the desired price charged by the retailer. Number two, limit storage. During emergency circumstances, people panic and they try to store basic goods like food, water, and other things for survival. Because of this, they buy more than what they need, which leaves nothing for other people. Price gouging makes them buy products in limit and which leaves plenty of stock for others. Value realization. During emergency calamities, people come to realize the importance of basic goods like food and water, etc. And they learn that how important these things are for them, which makes them not to waste these goods in their daily use once the circumstances have become normal. Hold on, folks. Okay. Okay. Where was I? Number 4, buffer stock. Buffer stock is the excess stock which is procured by a body, which buys and sells the stock as required. In case of an emergency, the price of necessities goes sky high. To curb such a steep rise in price, the authorized, usually government, releases the buffer stock available with it, which will prevent an excessive rise in price. Similarly, when there is an excessive availability of goods in the market, and due to which prices of goods decreases, at this time, the government buys excessive stock to maintain the prices of the goods in the market. During natural calamities, buffer stock is released by the government. The benefit for common people is that they get access to basic goods at controlled prices. Hold on. Hold on a minute. All right. Number 5, stock clearance at high profits. Usually, when a store decides to clear its stock, it sells goods at lower prices so that they can clear their stock fast before things become unsuitable for selling. During national calamities, the demand for goods rises and people even get ready to pay prices to obtain things. Such times can prove to be profitable for retailers for stock clearance. They can make profits on the stock that once was difficult for them to sell. And here we are with the disadvantages of price gouging. Number 1, customers pay high prices. Price gouging is unfair for common people as they have to pay much higher prices for the goods that they need the most. For example, in the Houston area, there was a shortage of food and water supplies in 2017 because of the manufacturing, water work, and delay in delivery of goods. Their one water bottles case was being sold at, get this, for a bottled water case being sold at $42.96. I repeat, $42.96. Tell me that shit doesn't make any sense to you. I don't think this shit makes any sense, man. That shit makes no sense to me. Anyway, number 2. Yeah, $42.96 at a local Best Buy store, which is unfair for the people. Defamation of brands. The decision of increasing the price of goods usually taken by local retailers, whereas the companies which manufacture these products are completely unaware of the price increase. When people get goods at increased prices, they build a bad image of the brand rather than the retailers. True. That's true. Same happened in the Houston area case. A person took the photograph of the price tag in the Best Buy store and posted it on social media, which brought the attention of the Best Buy about the matter, and they even apologized, stating that this happened because of the overzealous store manager. Wow. Such incident in, um incidences ruin the image of brands that they have built over time by spending millions on marketing and advertisement, and companies have to invest again to build the image of the brand again to win the trust of their customers. Number 3, legal implications. Charging above the minimum retail price is unlawful and unethical. That's true. In times of needs and emergency, this could lead to especially bad legal implications, which may not be in favor of retailer and his business in the long run. Penalties can be charged along with imprisonment in some places or other places. This can lead to the termination of the business contract between manufacturer or supplier, and the retailer lead to huge potential losses. Number 4, social degradation. During the times of natural calamities, when people come forward to help affected people, at such times, retailers sell goods at a high price, which not only cause the bad social image of the store, but also cause humiliation. If opposed by people and in the presence of social media, the repercussions can even become worse for the retailer. Therefore, it will be good for retailers not to take advantage of the situation and change higher prices. However, they can increase the prices up to some limit if they are themselves getting goods at high prices of transportation, etc. Okay. In other price gouging news, there has been a gas shortage in Georgia. Listen to this. So, Atlanta, since Colonial Pipeline returned to normal operations over the weekend, not much change has been seen at Georgia's gas station. According to the latest data by Patrick D. Hahn of Gas Buddy, 41% of Georgia's gas stations are still experiencing outages as of 11 a.m. Eastern Monday. This reflects only a 3% decrease in since Sunday morning and a 8% decrease since last Wednesday. DeHaan estimates Georgia is also seeing an 18% per gallon increase on average, which is the most sizable weekly price jump since Colonial Pipeline shut down its services. Experts have estimated it could take several more days into potentially Memorial Day weekend which was recently, for some areas in Georgia to see gas stations return to normal supply again. Okay. So there's gotta be more to this story here. I should be looking some more. Let's take a look. Okay. There it is. According to Fox 5 Atlanta, article goes like this. Atlanta, Georgia gas stations are slowly recovering after the shutdown of the nation's largest gasoline pipeline early in May, As of Monday night, Gas Buddy reports that 39% of Georgia gas stations remain without fuel, an improvement from the 51%. 51%. Hang on, folks. Don't need to see the. Yes, 51% of gas stations around the state that did not have fuel Friday night. Okay. Experts predict it will take several more days for the supply chain to return to normal after the Georgia-based Colonial Pipeline started on Wednesday. In quote, since that time, we have returned the system to normal operations, delivering millions of gallons per hour to the markets we serve, Colonial Pipeline said in a tweet Saturday. Those markets include Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, South and North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. In total, Gas Buddy reports over 11,000 gas stations across the country experiencing a fuel shortage. Gas shortages have been improving since a peak on Thursday night. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm said on Friday that the nation is over the hump on gas shortages, with about 200 stations returning to service every hour. It's still going to work its way through the system over the next few days, but we should be back to normal fairly soon, she said. The shortage caused a major leap in gas prices, which was still on the price gouging subject, which is the name of the episode. Yes. Monday, the price sits at just $3 a gallon. In some of the hardest hit states, the price of gas per gallon shot up 20 cents in the last week alone. In total, the average price of gallon of gasoline increased 63% in the past year. Multiple sources confirmed to the Associated Press that Colonial Pipeline had paid the criminals who committed the cyber attack a ransom of nearly $5 million in cryptocurrency. What? Wait. Am I reading this right? Multiple sources confirmed to the Associated Press that Colonial Pipeline had paid the criminals who committed the cyber attack a ransom of nearly $5 million in cryptocurrency for the software decryption key required to unscramble their data network. The ransom, 75 Bitcoin, was paid last Saturday, a day after the criminals locked up Colonial's corporate network, according to Tom Robinson, co-founder of the cryptocurrency tracking firm Elliptic. Prior to Robinson's blog post, 2 people briefed on the case had confirmed the payment amount to AP. The pipeline system delivers about 45% of the gasoline consumed to the East Coast. Oh boy. Okay. All right, let me share my thoughts on the whole price gouging thing. Everybody's had an issue with the whole price gouging thing for a very, very long time over the years. And to be honest with you, it's not really new. And sometimes it hasn't been recognized on media outlets. Crazy shit is price gouging hasn't really getting that much attention. And I think there should be more attention on the issues to price gouging when it comes to, not just supermarkets, but gas stations itself. And that to me, look, man, I get the whole supply and demand thing, but during this time, I don't think anything should have been raised up in the first place. And honestly, some companies nowadays, I'm not saying everybody, but there are some companies that are just too greedy for money and with these overcharged prices. And that's a fact. Speaking of facts, before I even go to the future thing, I want to inform people about the about national National Caribbean American Month. Let's see. So, what is National Caribbean American Month, you ask? So, National Caribbean American Month is celebrated every June to honor and celebrate America's rich and diverse culture, which also includes the Caribbean American population. People from this community have not only evolved the American culture, but have also contributed greatly to the development of the nation in areas of science and medicine. There are also numerous Caribbean Americans whose services the U.S. is grateful for even today. This month aims to recognize the contributions of all Caribbean American people and to teach people more about their culture and history. Come celebrate with us. Um, a long time ago, many major Caribbean nations were under direct U.S. political control at some point, which made their immigration into America much easier. The easiest wave of Caribbean nationals came to the U.S. in the 19th century and were mostly guest workers from the British West Indies program, who worked in agriculture, as well as political exiles from Cuba. As U.S. companies began recruiting English speaking workers from former English colonies like Jamaica, migration increased to great extent. This time also saw many more Caribbean people flee political stability and seek refuge in the U.S., which is the United States, folks. The success of the U.S. as a nation also attracted numerous people from the Caribbean regions to the country. Amongst these were talented craftsmen, poets, doctors, inventors, and other individuals that added greatly to different professional spheres in the nation. So, some of the renowned names include Alexander Hamilton, the first Secretary of Treasury and one of the founding fathers, Selena Cruz, the lady known for creating astounding salsa music, the famous baseball player Robert Clemente, and several other individuals who managed to leave a mark on U.S. history. The U.S. is also a trading partner for the Caribbean nations. National Caribbean American Month was formed to honor these talented individuals and the positive relations the country has built with the Caribbean. While immigration increased before the 20th century, it has since declined gradually. Most immigrants are from 5 countries: Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Haiti, and Trinidad and Tobago. Hold on. Okay. The month was founded by Dr. Claire Nelson
and was celebrated across the nation for the first time by the Institute of Caribbean Studies in 2000. However, the move to officially declare June as National Caribbean American Month started in 2004 when a legislative bill was passed by Congresswoman Barbara Lee. The resolution was made official in 2006 when President George W. Bush signed the proclamation naming June as National Caribbean American Month. During this month, knowledge regarding the contributions of the Caribbean is pushed to the forefront, and people are also reminded of the great Caribbean cuisine, their music, and the majestic annual parades of the Caribbean Americans. This is the time of the year when the country is given a blast from the past, topped with a lot of entertainment. And of course, there you have it. There you have it on what the National Caribbean American Heritage Month is. If you'd like to know more information about this, you can go to nationaltoday.com/Caribbean American Heritage Month. All right. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Let me see if I covered everything. Of course, Future. So, oh man, Future is in fucking hot water right now. And I say this because of what allhiphop.com has to say about this in this article. Oh man. Okay, let's get into this. User on Twitter have Future trending as they drag his name for disrespecting Lori Harvey and her boyfriend Michael B. Jordan. Yes, this goes back to episode 13 when I actually, talked about how Lori Harvey is out of your league, which was the name of the episode, by the way. If you don't remember, I suggest you take a look at it, and I explain why she's out of your league. So there you go. Okay. Future's diss to Lori Harvey might be backfiring against the Atlanta rapper. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. The dirty Sprite hitmaker had some harsh verses for Lori Harvey on his collaborative track with 40 Doug titled Maybach. Okay, let me see. Hold on a minute. So far, neither Lori Harvey nor Michael has replied to Future's toxicity, but the Twitter mob has been defending them both while dragging Future over his lyrics. Lori Harvey ain't ever spoke or said a word. That's how I know she player on a different level. she a heartbreaker for sure, wrote one user. Really though? Really? Why would you even say some shit like that, man? That's the question. I mean, what even possessed you to even say some shit like that? This is, oh my goodness, man. Like, this is just, it sounds like shots fired right here, man. This is crazy, man. Oh man. Oh man. Anyway, another person added, Lori Harvey lives in Future mind rent free, and it's hilarious. Others commented that Lori Harvey was lucky she didn't have a child with Future.
You think? Oh man. And you wonder why Future got too many baby mamas and more than 7 kids. Wow. Yo, Future's a mess, man. He's a fucking mess for sure, though. Oh shit. Oh my lord. That's crazy. That's really crazy right there, man. Nah, that's crazy. That's very crazy though, man. Oh man. Others commented that Lori Harvey was lucky she didn't have a child with Future. In fact, Future's Cold War against Lori Harvey comes as he gears up for a real life court battle with Eliza Rain, the mother of one of his 6 children. Oh shit. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. So the rap star is locked in a years-long child support fight with Eliza after he denies he was the father of their child until a paternity test proved otherwise. Oh boy. Oh my lord. Okay. It is doubtful that Future even cares about the negative reception to his unreleased verse on Maybach. During an interview earlier this week, the rapper said he had tunnel vision, which makes him oblivious to criticism. Oh boy. Oh boy. So this user on Twitter says Lori Harvey and Sierra when they realized they both moved on and did better. Another Twitter user says Lori Harvey whenever Future mentions her. And this person says, "How does Lori Harvey make y'all so mad when we don't even know what she sounds like?" That's oh shit. Oh shit, that's crazy. Oh man, they really violating Lori Harvey right there. That's crazy. The way Lori Harvey got out of her relationship with Future without a baby. Phew. The way we were all holding our breath. Yep. Future is pissed. He ain't trapped Lori Harvey. Lori Harvey, Sierra, and everyone else. I'm seeing a pattern and the future looks problematic. You think? Future realizing his toxic ways pushed both Lori Harvey and Sierra away and his distance no longer matter. Oh shit. Oh my goodness. That's just crazy. Anyway, Future makes fire music, but he gotta take these L's on Sierra and Lori Harvey because some of those bars on that 42 Doug tracks a sign of some real issues. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I believe oh my goodness, man. I believe that's how I'm gonna I really needed to laugh at this though. All I can say is that Future is a fucking hot mess. He's a hot mess. Oh man. He's a hot mess though. And you know why? And you know why nobody's listening to his music? The man, the man ruined his career by causing all this drama. Now you got baby mama drama, and then you got court issues and stuff. This is why your damn music career is going down the damn tube like this.
right. So that's gonna do for episode 39 in the books. If you like what you heard, be sure to show some love to the podcast by making a generous donation. Now, as I previously said, I did take Anchor out because I wanted to add PayPal to it. So instead of donating the money to Anchor, you can either donate it to PayPal, which is paypal.me/gmoneystacks Queens, New York. And another way you could do is to my Cash App, which is $G Money Stacks 555. That's GMONEYSTACKZ 555. That's where you can make your donations. Now, it's not about breaking the bank. Whatever amount you give will be appreciated. It's all about doing the best you can on what you can afford. All right. Now I do want to go over where you can listen to the podcast on the go. Now, before I even do that, let's go over the social media handles real quick. You can follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram, which is the same name, Off the Meatrack Chainz NY podcast, alongside with my primary Instagram handle, which is GMoneyStacks 555 in Queens, New York. Now, also, now for the stream platforms to go. You can listen to Off the Meatrack Chainz New York podcast on these audio stream choices, which is Podorama, Anchor, Spotify, Audio Burst, Deezer, TuneIn plus Alexa, Play FM, Podchaser. Don't forget, when you go to Podchaser, be sure to leave a review and a 5-star rating to show some love and what you like about the episodes. Comment. Be sure to comment in full sentences, which I will address in the YouTube section in a second. We're on Stitcher, Pocket Cast, Podcast Addict, Breaker, Listen Notes, Google Podcasts. Also, please don't forget to listen to Off the Meatrack Chainz New York podcast on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, the number one app for podcasting. And last but not least, the YouTube. I need every current listener and new listeners to do your part by grabbing the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, G Money Stacks 555. Be sure to enable alerts so you can be notified on when the show goes on the air live, upcoming episodes, previous recorded episodes, more video content. Be sure to leave a like and a comment on the episodes, including the topics that was discussed today and previous episodes whatsoever. If you missed previous episodes, don't worry. All that is going to be on the channel. Every previous episode after the recording is going to automatically be posted on the channel. So don't worry about that. Also don't forget to download. Don't forget to download, even if it's like your favorite episodes or not. Every download counts, especially on streaming platforms that I just mentioned. And also, don't forget to spread the word. Also, don't forget to share the podcast along with audio stream platforms that I just mentioned with your friends. And be sure to tell them to go subscribe to my channel, which is G Money Stacks 555. We need to get more subscribers going, and the views is going up really, really good so far. And also, I did check on Anchor, by the way, which I would like to go over, which I will go over in a second. Um, just bear with me, folks, as I look for the Anchor section. Um, but as I'm looking through this, I would like to say this: if you have a dream on being a podcaster or creating a show like I'm doing right now, and like I always say, don't let anybody, not even a clown burger, not even an online flizzy, to tell you what you can or can't do. All right? You're not doing this to please them. You're doing this to please you. And the only way you're gonna be happy is if you do something that you love to do. And that's what's important, alongside with your mental strength, your mental sanity, and also keep in mind, um also know yourself. You have to love yourself before you love anybody else. So here we go. Now, according to Anchor, we have 792 plays on Anchor, 13 estimated audiences, 31 unique listeners, which is pretty good so far. So I guess consistency is very important too, which I will agree on. If you're creating a project like a podcast, like I'm doing right now, make sure you are always consistent with your content, no matter what topic you're talking about. You're only doing this to please you, nobody else but you. And this. All right. Now that I got all that out the way, I also want to say one more thing before I even get off the air. If you can empower somebody by having the power to inspire somebody and motivate somebody into chasing their dreams of what they love to do, whether it's something creatively or whether it's something that, um like being an entrepreneur, radio personality, podcast host like myself, who has a show right now that's doing well on YouTube, and I am going to keep going. And like I previously said, I'm not doing this for fame. I'm doing this because it's therapeutic to me. And I think of podcasting as therapy. And when you think of therapy, you don't necessarily have to go into an office to actually, you know, be with the person. I mean, you could just this is a space to do two to do one thing in two words. Express yourself. That's what the show is about. Expressing yourself with the topics that's being discussed, sharing your opinions, your thoughts, and your talks. All right. So, like I said in the previous story, um, do you think that the Olympics in Tokyo should ban athletes from wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt or whatever merch it is? Be sure to comment in the section below the YouTube channel, and I will post that question soon as I get off the air, all right? And you know, with that being said, that's gonna do it. I'd like to say thank you to every new listener and current listener
who has been tuning in and rocking with me since I've been kind of rocking solo since without a co-host and stuff like that. So um I'm gonna figure some things out. So so don't give up on me. So I'm just a rookie podcaster who's trying to strive his way through success. So I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you for tuning in and rocking with me. And even though my co-host is not here due to scheduling and stuff like that, which I'm not gonna hold that against them. Um and I will see you in the next episode. Peace and one love.